up? Thanks again for tuning in. This is the Activated Podcast. As always, your host, Ibu. Today, before we get into it, I just want to say thanks everybody for always tuning in. I truly can't thank y'all enough for continuing to support the podcast, of course. And as a quick note, I just had a conversation with a good friend of mine, Miss Butter, which I did an episode with. If you guys want to check it out, I think it's number 5 or 6. Do for the gram. She's doing a campaign right now in regards to a friend of hers that lost everything in a fire. There's a GoFund link that I posted. I can't tell you what the link is right off the top of my head, but it is on the Activated Podcast Facebook page for now, but I'll be make sure to share it. So, a young lady that's about to give birth, or I think she could have already. I'm not really sure because she posted it a while ago. If anybody got a few dollars or whatever it is and we want to support her in these tragic times that she's going through, as a house is caught on fire, as far as I understand. So I'll put up the GoFund link. Please go ahead and support. I mean, $5, $2, $10, it makes a difference. You got to think about how quick, we could spend $10 or $20. So I'll make sure to go ahead and do my donation as well. But I just wanted to put it out. Before we started today's episode, start with a little bit of positivity. And in the building here with me today, I have this is my homie now, man. We've been chilling for like 2 hours. We're supposed to start 2-3 hours ago. My laptop decided to give us some technical difficulties. So we're a little late, but I mean, better late than never. You guys probably wouldn't be able to tell when I post up the episode, but there's a little side story that's going on. I got Daniel in the building here with me.
Art Def 1111.
Art, see, when I seen, just so you guys know that is listening to it, I can never, how do you say your Instagram name? Art Def?
Art of Def.
It's a lot of words. I'm not gonna lie to you. The only way I'm able to go back to your page, I know it started with art. The rest of it, I promise you, I don't know what that's. And I know there's a bunch of ones at the end.
Right.
What is that art? How'd you come up with that?
So the Def part is, I was looking for a name. I didn't know what to do.
Right.
So I was talking to my brother, who I learned a lot of art from and craft and everything. And I'm like, yo, I don't know what to do for this name. For when I start the company or my brand. And then he was like, why don't you just call it Def? And Def is the initials of my name, right? Daniel Ezekiel Forrester. And at first I'm like, that's corny. I'm not doing that. That's trash. Get that out of here. And he's like, no, like it works. And I'm like, I'll think about it. Thought about it. I'm like, nah.
You're like, I don't really have a better name right now.
I don't have a name. And it just flowed, right? So I'm like, that's cool.
And you went with it. And I didn't even say that beforehand, but Daniel is an artist.
Right.
You see last time too, and shout out to Melissa. Melissa was here a few months ago. She was also an artist, but you know what? As I'm thinking about it, I want you to let me know, like, cause she does acrylic. Is that a thing? I mean, you might have to correct me. I'm not an artist.
I think what she does is acrylic, maybe oil. I'm not too familiar.
So acrylic is people that like, what is that? Like, is that when you?
So acrylic it's paint, right?
Okay.
But you have different types of paint. So acrylic is one type, and then you got oil painting, that's another type, and then you got watercolor, that's a different type. Okay. So it's just different forms in the same medium type of thing.
Okay, so it's a different. It's the way. Is the make of the paint.
That's right. That's right.
All right. So now that makes sense because I was sitting there because now explain to me the difference between what like an artist like Melissa does, compared to an artist like you, Daniel, does. Like, is it, break it down for me? Because I know you like use pencils, right?
Right. So I use pencil, charcoal, colored pencil. I use a bit of watercolor.
Okay.
For certain pictures, that's a whole nother process.
Okay.
I use a bunch of mixed media, pretty much.
Okay.
Right. Whereas painters, they might use one form of paint to get their image across or whatnot. Mm-hmm. Whereas me, I'll use a whole bunch of different things, and it's just because I can do different techniques with it. So depending on what I need to do or what picture I need to get out, that's gonna determine what medium I'm gonna use. Pretty much.
So I mean, that's what I was thinking. So that is why you decided to do and what do you call the style of painting that you does? The style of art
that Melissa does?
No, that you do.
That I do. The style of what I do is it's realism.
Okay.
And then also just abstract sci-fi fantasy type of stuff.
I don't even know what those means. Like today, I'm just like, and I'm treading very carefully because I don't want to butcher it for lack of knowledge. So if I look like I'm sweating a little bit, I need you to jump in it and put us on game. Now, where does the inspiration come from? Like why did you decide, and why did you decide to use, like, for example, instead of going with the acrylic way, why didn't you go that route instead of what you're doing?
The short of that answer is I always hated painting.
Oh, okay. I mean,
and in elementary school I tried painting.
Yeah.
And then there was another art student, this girl in my class, and she just used to kill me at it. I could just never get a hang of it. But the long of that answer is that I always started with pencils, right? So from my earliest memory of me getting into art, it was always with just the pencils I had around the house. Sometimes I would use pens. It was just whatever I had at my disposal. Yeah. Even to the point where when I would go outside, a lot of times I would grab rocks and I was sketching on the pavement or sketching on the brick wall with rocks.
Rocks?
Yeah, with rocks, man. Scarborough life, man.
Oh yeah, he is. Apparently Scarborough is a different, though it's still in Toronto, right? Yeah. Is that that's considered Toronto?
Yeah, it's still Toronto, East Toronto.
Though it's Toronto, but it's a different vibe from I guess from the West End. I always tell people I don't care, and I guess I'm considered West End because I'm in Brampton, but it never really, like, I never looked at it that it was different, or I never put myself in the category. But well, that being said, so you started that to now. Do you also do portrait as well? Like, do you draw? Because I know we keep talking about Melissa. Shout out to you, free promo for you. Check her out, Melissa. She's good.
She's a great.
Do you also do portrait? Like, do you of like your friends and things like that?
I have. I first started getting into doing celebrity portraits. So whoever I grew up watching or listening to their music, like for me, it was Wu-Tang. And it was Snoop Dogg. So I got to a point where I was just drawing Snoop Dogg just straight off the top of my head, just from sketching his picture out a few times. So just from memory.
Is there a benefit from drawing celebrities? Like, is there? I know a lot of people do it, and I do remember you having a post. And we about to get into this Black Panther thought. Yeah. Right. We're just gonna jump right into it. And if you're listening to this on SoundCloud. There's also a video that will be going up, and Daniel's brought with him some of his work that he's done. As you can see behind me, well, if you're watching this YouTube, you can see it. This thing, it almost, these are your original work, not prints.
That's right. Well, the one in the middle is a print. Okay, the one in the middle is a print. Because the original I ended up selling. Okay. So yeah, but it looks just like.
Daniel getting to the money. He's selling everything. Now, explain to me, how do you get what's the process from starting the drawings and getting it to the print aspect of it? Because I thought you just put that shit in a photocopier and just print it off. Like, I think that's my thought process. But break it down.
Well, it's not that long or hard of a process to do it, right? I mean, the whole process of to take like one of these pictures and to put in the print, what I would do is photograph it, scan it, whatever I need to do that's going to give me a good quality, bring it into the computer, fix the color correction, make sure everything lines up and it looks like the original, and then I'll print it off. So whenever I sell it to whoever, they're basically getting a replica of exactly of the original artwork that I did.
Oh, okay. So that's what it is. Right. So and then that makes it affordable, right? Is that why you guys do? Is that why artists do prints?
Yeah, that's exactly why we do it. Like for something like this, the Pac, Huey, Malcolm, something like that, I would charge $300. But then somebody might like that and be like, you know, I don't have 300 to spend. I'm like, okay, well, I got the print here for like $20.
You know what, Melissa? You should have gave me a print of my own picture. For the same some money, no. But okay, so it is. So that is attainable to like most people. If you love art, you don't have to. And you might not have the money to get the original ones that you drew. Obviously, that takes time. Now, on average, how long does it take you to do, let's say, a small print like, you know, well, what is it, 20?
This is 11 by 14.
11 by 14.
Yeah.
What's the time? How long does it take you to get that?
To draw this up? Or? Yeah.
From 0 to 100.
See, this took me about 4 weeks to do. And that's just because I paid attention to every little detail.
Right.
And then I wanted it to look as realistic as possible. This is one of my earlier pieces, so this is 2017 February. Okay. So as time went along and then I got around to this, I was a bit faster, but I still kind of took my time and made sure I got everything so it really pops at whoever's looking at it.
So when you say, let's say I don't know, 2 days, right?
Yeah.
How many hours a day do you spend?
Hours a day, man, I spend like 2 to 4.
Just a day to get
just
it.
Going at it, yeah. Jeez. And then sometimes I'm up late nights till like 3 in the morning or something, working at a picture.
So artists, you guys really gotta love what you do, though.
Yeah, you really gotta be.
It's not like you're not doing it for show. You're not doing it for the gram. You're really. This is a craft that. Now, were you always this good? I mean.
No, hell no.
Nobody's. I mean.
I was trash at one point.
At one point, did you look at it? Or maybe this should have been a better question. At what point did you look at it and realize there's something there that I could make money from?
Yeah.
So let me start to sharpen it a lot more. Like at one point did you realize?
Well,
because I know you say this is from last year, like one of the print. And if you're not seeing this, you're listening to it, it's like a Tupac, Malcolm X. I don't know that third guy.
That's Huey P. Newton. So he was one of the co-founders of the Black Panther Party.
Oh shit! I didn't know. I know. What was Malcolm? I know we're coming off.
Yeah.
But this is Black History Month, so we gotta give y'all some shit to really think about.
Yeah.
Was Malcolm X? Was he part of the founders of Black Panther? I mean,
He wasn't one of the founders, but I'd say he was an inspiration to them.
Okay, so he
came before them. Yeah. So a lot of the lessons that he put out, obviously they took from him, and then obviously Tupac took from both of them, right? So that dynamic of all three of them just worked very well.
Yeah.
And then they all bring a different kind of energy, but they all have a similar goal in mind, if that makes any sense. So,
yeah. No, it does. I mean, I knew Malcolm X, but I mean, I just learned something new. And also, I just want to share with you guys, as you're there, and we're about to get into this Black Panther. See, I like guests, right? That come up and they got a little gift for your boy. You know what I'm saying? It does something to my heart. So I got a print of this Black Panther that you drew.
Right. I
just want to put it to the camera, and we'll also have pictures of this on my Instagram for those of y'all listening on the SoundCloud. And thank you very much for bringing me this. Now, safe to say you are a comic fan. Like you love.
Oh, I'm a big nerd. I'm a big nerd.
Like, I thought nerd was offensive. I thought it was offensive to say
see, nerd isn't offensive to nerds. Like, just seeing me, you would never know. But then, if I approach, like, let's say you're a nerd, for instance, and I approach you and I'm like, yeah, comic book issue, Captain America issue number such and such and all that. You're like, oh, okay, this guy knows some things. Or I start talking about sci-fi, and I'm like, okay. So
I know, like, everything now, it's with terms, like, you can't say certain terms. I don't even know which ones to say. I know that, like, it's cliche to, I didn't know. So if you call somebody a nerd, like, you won't be offended by that, no?
Not at all. Not at all. And me, I'm far from PC, man. So if I say something and you're offended, like, I'm sorry, but I'm a 90s kid.
I'm with you. If I don't offend you, then we're not doing our job. Pretty much, because then that does push somebody to think, right? Like, I mean, it's cool to be nice. You don't always have to be offensive, but sometimes certain messages, you can't drive the point if you're not saying things that are making people uncomfortable, right?
And some things that people say are offensive aren't really offensive. It's just,
I don't know, like, unfortunately, we're in an era where everything is deemed as such. Like, oh yeah, you called me nerd. It's not politically. I ain't got time for all that. But back to this Black Panther stuff.
Yeah.
So because you are a fan of this Black Panther stuff,
Yeah.
With the movie coming out, I guess it did inspire you to draw Mr. Chadwick there.
That's right.
With the black, this is. I mean, I saw posts that you put up and you was doing it. I was just like, is this guy like? And this is the original, right?
Yeah, this is the original right here.
I mean, guys, you gotta see that this is. It looks just like him. I know sometimes people are like, let me make a portrait of somebody, and then you look at it, you're like, who's this? You can't tell if it's the person or the. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like them, but this actually does. And also, when you posted it, I seen that Chadwick also he liked it.
Yeah, he liked it. That was big, man.
Did he send you a big DM or anything like that? Hey, I want to buy this off for you. No.
I actually reached out to him and then I was like, look, like if you're ever in Toronto,
please,
I gotta get this to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, my initial message was like, hey, I really like what you're doing, and congratulations on your success, you know, all that stuff. And then, you know, I did this picture. I wouldn't mind if you would check it out and whatnot.
And sign it.
Oh, I wish, man.
Do they like that? I mean, when does that have an impact when you tag artists and then they like it? Does that do anything to it? Like, do you all of a sudden see a surge in like followers or?
Yeah, it definitely does.
It does, right?
It does, and then especially in the likes and the engagement in my page overall. I mean, I don't do it specifically for that reason. Yeah. I mean, because I was really looking forward to this film and I was really inspired by it. Mm-hmm. And I was familiar with his work in terms of movies before the Black Panther. Okay. So that's why I tagged him and whatnot. And then there's other celebrities I want to draw and whatnot. But it's only people that I've drawn some inspiration from that I'll really put an effort for them seeing it or whatnot. Yeah. So it's not like, because I feel like sometimes people are damn near harassing these celebrities. Yeah. Like every damn post I want to tag the dude. Like, y'all really think he got, I mean, I don't know. And sometimes it's good that they do see it and they like it. I guess it's kind of like what's it called? The appraisal or something like that. Like that you're waiting for. Like it's a reminder that you're doing something. Right, it's the acknowledgement, and I mean for some artists it's acknowledgement. With some artists, they feel that okay, if LeBron James sees this picture that I drew of him, he's gonna repost it, and I'm gonna get X amount of followers, and then people are gonna buy my work, and I'm gonna make this amount. Like they going through this whole elaborate scheme in their head. Does that happen? For me personally, I've never been about that. Right? Has any celebrity posted any of the work you've done? No, not yet. But then again, I haven't done any. Like, is this the only portrait that you've done? Yeah, pretty much this one, and then the Pac, Malcolm, Huey, even though they're all past, but they still have people that, you know, handle their accounts and, you know. Malcolm X got an Instagram account? He got an Instagram somewhere. Hey, y'all gotta stop, man. We gotta stop this shit. we gotta stop. Hey, man, if I die, shut off everything. Don't post. That's crazy. How somebody? Yeah, they got Facebook pages, Instagram. I mean, at least if he was alive when he opened it, I could see that. But he wasn't around when this Black Panther stuff. Sorry, not the Black Panther, but he wasn't alive when Instagram was around. So why? But you know what it is though? It's people just carrying on their message, right? And it's kind of a way of immortalizing them in a sense, because it's very easy for things to get lost. As they say, lost in the sauce. You just changed my perspective a little bit. I mean, that is true, because a younger kid might not be familiar with it, and then not all they have is Instagram. Yeah. So, I mean, okay, Malcolm keep him alive. For me personally, some of the shit I used to say on Facebook, delete, get rid of my Facebook, ASAP. You know what I'm saying? It might be tough. Have you seen the movie, Black Panther? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've seen it. How did you like it? I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Oh, I thought you were about to say out of 10. Can you imagine? I said, Daniel is great. Listen, if you, I was like 3.5 out of 10. The reason for that is because I know people went in for watching it through different eyes meaning. Mm-hmm. Some people were watching it from a political standpoint. Yeah. Some people were watching it from a racial standpoint. Me, I went in as a comic book fan. Did you dress up? Did you have a dashi? Nah, I didn't dress up. I had my Black Panther shirt on, my Wakanda thing going on, but I didn't go full out. I had on the full outfit. Yeah.
And I got to the theater, and I don't know. I just felt like I might have overdone this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I had on these light pants. The wind was hitting me. I was cold as shit. And I was just like, like for you, like when you see, and I know we all like, I know the Black Panther thing. It started one way, and then it turned into an empowerment vehicle, if we could say that. Like a lot of people got inspired. A lot of people life changed, and I'm putting this in quotation marks.
Yeah.
Not for me. I wasn't inspired per se, right? Like when I seen it, I didn't go, damn, yo, like my life needed this for me to go to the next level per se, kind of thing. And I think there's two different perspectives. If we could look at it, is I think that there's the perspective of coming from an immigrant family where we come from Africa, so we've seen, like, I don't want to say black excellence, but we've been inspired by things that we see back home. Especially now, like it's the coolest shit to go to Africa in December, and even American artists, they go there to shoot their video. Like it starts to become the new cool.
Right.
And then so like the inspiration, like I wasn't looking for that, and also I think as in coming from immigrant parents, like we know what that means. Like our parents come to these countries for us to do something out of our lives. So that message, I think we've been hearing it for a long time. But for those that do you think people really went overboard? Like from your perspective, like do we think that some people just gotta relax a little bit?
Some people do need to relax. But in terms of a few things we could touch on with that. In terms of the dressing up, it's no different than when people go see Star Wars and they're dressed up in their stormtrooper gear or whatnot. It's no different than that.
Okay, yeah.
And
people dress up for
people dress up for that. People dress up for Harry Potter.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, a lot of those films. And for me, what I liked about it was it gave us an opportunity to be excited about something. Mm-hmm. Nobody's seen, this is no shade at him, but nobody's seen a Tyler Perry movie and like, yo, I'm gonna dress up as Medea and go. And everybody start dressing up as Medea.
But then again, I was having a discussion with somebody. I was telling them, like, this is cool. Let's support the Black Panther movie.
Yeah.
And my point was that, like, Black Panther is cool, and I know we could talk about that. Marvel obviously created this as fictional, but they drew from like real places. Even the Dalek and stuff that was in the movie were like South Africa and things like that. But I feel like we don't really, and I know there's like a petition that Marvel got to give 25% of what.
That's crazy.
Okay, y'all need to relax. That's not happening.
That's crazy.
They not giving shit. You know what I mean? And like a Medea movie, for example, and we've heard these stories that like Tyler Perry has created a studio in Atlanta. Like he hires black people. Like going to see a Medea movie, even though like now it's become redundant, like that helps black people way more.
Right.
Even though like we just don't vibe with the story anymore, but like the message is like, support this, but also remember I always encourage people, like, support things that you might be able to see a direct impact. You know what I mean? Like, so I guess the Black Panther, I loved it.
Yeah.
Right? And now thinking back at it, is there anything you would change from what you saw? Like, everything?
Things I would change are from a comic book fan perspective, right? Okay. So just from that perspective, I would change.
Break it up, so like give us the Black Panther story, because I don't know. Like,
let me get into.
Where did it start?
Where did it start?
Yeah, so like I heard, like it comes. Yeah.
It first started in Fantastic Four. That was his first appearance into the Marvel universe and whatnot.
Okay.
And then they kind of went along after that. Then they got into his origin story, which was basically what the movie covered. But one of the things that I was disappointed with is that he's one of the smartest in the Marvel universe, and he has a hell of a fighting skill and like repertoire. And in the movie, they didn't explore that. He was getting his ass kicked.
And he had claws and shit.
There you go. But even without his powers, he has 10 different fighting styles. So how is it that when he was fighting M'Baku at the first scene, you should have made easy work with him?
Really?
Yeah, you should have made easy work. But
is he the smartest? And like, cause I hear like he's the richest and the smartest in the Marvel.
he's not the smartest. He's one of the smartest.
Who's the smartest?
The smartest is Reed Richards, which is Mr. Fantastic, the guy that can stretch.
Okay, I was gonna say what's the dude in the Iron Man guy? What's his name?
Tony Stark.
There you go.
Yeah.
You can tell I'm not. I love the movie, but I don't know the history.
Well, that's the thing. There's comic book fans that, like, will say you like some of these movies, but you're coming from a perspective of being familiar with movies, whereas there's people like me that are familiar with the comics
before it makes it to the movie.
Movies.
Okay, so
right,
you're
right.
like, is it when you watch the movie? Is there something that we should, because obviously you have a better understanding than the rest of us.
Yeah.
Is there a message that was in there that we should have seen that most of us probably didn't catch?
There was a lot of messages, to be honest. I touched on one message that I really loved about the movie, and that's the empowerment that it's giving to dark-skinned girls. Okay. Right? And that's because in this day and age and whatnot, a lot of the female imagery is coming from Instagram personalities or entertainers such as Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, and nothing against them. They're entertaining.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you got to be a parent and raise your child. But with this movie, you're giving them a different outlook that you have these dark-skinned women and they're not overly sexualized. They're not acting ratchet. They're not acting crazy on screen. They're not being super defiant.
Yeah.
They're actually intelligent. They're ambitious. They're warriors.
Right.
So I liked it from that aspect. That's one of the messages. There's a few other things that connected to just African history and even African mythology. Like, one thing people don't know is that the Panther, that's not just a panther that's in the film and just a name that they took. What that actually represents is a goddess in Egyptian mythology called Bastet, which is the cat god. And the other side to Bastet is Sekhmet, which is how you got Killmonger. So you have Black Panther representing the Bastet energy, and then you have Killmonger representing the Sekhmet energy. So it's like a dichotomy of, you have one side that's kind of peaceful and wants to resolve things a certain way, and then you have the other side that if you piss off the cat, he's gonna want to solve.
Okay, but they both represent Panther kind
exactly,
of
but
energy.
they're one being type of thing. Right?
Okay.
So me watching the movie, I got it immediately, and that's because I grew up knowing about certain things being
Killmonger.
Egyptian
I thought dude just wanted
and
to just blow shit up.
Nah, man, he was.
I guess he was trying.
purpose.
I mean, if you haven't seen Black Panther by now, you're on your own.
Too bad.
We're gonna talk about it, but I thought he was trying to liberate black people across the world, of course. I didn't like the method that he was trying to. I mean, you can't just go around and blow shit up.
But you know what's funny? Because I didn't like the method either.
Yeah.
But then again, you spoke earlier about how the film kind of touches on the dynamic of coming from an immigrant background and whatnot, and you're going to see things differently. Funny enough, a lot of Americans, or a lot of Canadians that were born here, Black Canadians, Black Americans, they like the Killmonger character better.
Really?
And that's because they can't see things from the other side. They're seeing things as, okay, we got to take up arms and just, go against everybody.
Blow shit up.
Exactly. When, no, you can't do things necessarily that way because you got to think about what it's going to lead to. This can lead to a bigger problem.
Yeah.
So that's what I liked about the Black Panther energy, is that he's saying, okay, we got to ease into this and settle things diplomatically, but we also got to handle things on a different level where we can make connections with people, and then any other problems that come along, we can also be able to handle them. But both are needed. Both are needed.
It's like I guess it's the yin and the yang balance. It create, like, it encompass both. Are they making another one? Is it a part 2 coming?
Oh yeah, there's a part 2, part 2, part 3.
But like, I don't want to wait like 6 years. Hey, Marvel, y'all gotta relax, man. This shit comes out every 4 years. I can't. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they should make one next year.
Nah,
these movies takes long to make.
It seems like some of them take long, but what it seems like is that once they finish one, they start producing the next one. So that's why you have them like back to back, right? But
yeah, because I also seen some commercial about Venom. Listen, guys.
Don't worry, I'm putting you up.
But you know the crazy thing is, I go see every. I've gone and see it. I don't miss them. So I mean, summertime, I probably go to movies 2-3 times a week, kind of thing. Like I love those kind of movies. Like it's really, you know what I mean. The comics I used to be into back then is Dragon Ball Z. So that's the one I know the back. You know, you can't. I might forget some shit.
Hold on.
Okay, no, I was joking.
Are you a 90s Dragon Ball fan or are you a new age Dragon Ball fan?
Nah, like 90s.
Okay. If you said new age, I would love.
Yeah, no, like you know, back that was the only thing I know. I remember this. It used to come on. I can't remember which day, but it was 5:30. Used to come on. I think every day used to come on 5:30. 5:30. Get home, we rushed to. You know, I used to even trying to draw. Yeah. The little Goku. I should drawings. I can't do this. I wish I could. Maybe I should have stuck with it. So yeah, what else? What else am I forgetting about this movie? Anything else
Anything else from the movie?
That you can think of?
I have no other criticisms for it. Mm-hmm. I mean, like I said, different people are going to go in with different eyes, right? So.
And are you people that is going to see it on Tuesday because it's half price? Stop doing this shit, okay? Go see the shit on a Friday. I know you wait till Tuesday, Tuesday, 50% Tuesday. Put your money behind at least, you know, one thing and go. So great movie. I've seen it 3 times. I've seen it 3 times. So
only seen it once.
You only see?
I'm gonna see it again though. I'm gonna wait till things kind of die down.
Yeah, I mean, I got invited, so you know, it was easier.
Yeah.
Thing to it. Now, I want to transition and talk about, and also today, you brought a piece here. We're gonna put it on camera. And I wanna talk about this a little bit.
We could put it back here.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, let's go.
There you go. So for those, if you're listening to the audio, I'm gonna describe this to you. It is look like a strong dude. He looked like he hit the gym a couple times. He's putting actually, you know what? Why am I talking about your piece? Go ahead.
No. You interpret.
Because I don't want to okay. So from my perspective, it looks like an empowering piece. There's a guy putting a crown on a woman, right? Like just to simplify things.
Yeah. Well,
but then again, it's a picture, so you have to see it to kind of. Like it's detailed in such that like you can convey maybe a couple messages through this, like a happy couple, right? They both smiling, look like they just had sex. No,
I think you might want to take that across.
All right, talking about what? See, you let me. That's your fault. You let me freestyle. So that's what I did. No, but like, explain to me when you were drawing this.
Yeah.
And you wanted to show it to the world. What is one message that you wanted them to really get, like, from looking at the picture?
Okay, so first let's clear up what the picture actually is.
I mean, you guys have seen the picture. What was the picture?
So we got right here. This is actually a young boy. It's not a girl.
It's a guy?
It's a guy. It's a young boy.
It looked like a girl that just took off her wig. Yeah?
No, you know
shit look kind of crazy.
You know what it is? It's the dreads and then that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
There's a meaning to.
So my fault. I apologize. It is a young. Okay.
Yeah, there's a meaning to all of it. So this picture here is called Legacy, and what I wanted to basically translate through this is that a strong, positive black role model, being a male. Mm-hmm. That's passing down his legacy to another generation or to his brother or to his friend, whatnot. That legacy could come by way of wisdom, come by support, or just some sort of mentorship. And that's basically what I wanted to get across with this. And the reason for the hair. So dreads represent years of growth, years of wisdom that this male has had with them. And then you have the young boy who's coming into that. And then the crown is the jewel that he's passing on to him. So he's like saying here, I'm now giving you the power to carry on what I had.
Okay. And I know the first time when we initially talked, which was about two months ago, I believe.
Yeah.
You had hit me up and he's like, I love what you're doing. I want to come to your podcast and present a piece. I guess you just didn't want to come and talk, which I told you, 100%, this is what it's for. And looking at it here, like, when you're creating pieces, like outside of the Black Panther stuff and things like that, is this your mission to like put out a lot of these pieces to show, of course, of black men empowering, the next generation, which I think nowadays it's a harder, like I don't even want to say we don't see it a lot, but I think we might forget that, hey, like we past a certain point, we do got to start to pass down, structure, beliefs, and I don't want to say right or wrong because that's subjective, right? Everybody has their own ways, but like I think empowering the next generation is very important. Is that the theme of every piece that you create, or this is just a one-off?
It's not the theme of every piece, but it's part of a section that I cover.
Okay.
So I have many different missions with the artwork that I do.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one of the missions, is black male empowerment. And yes, we have a lot of pictures and imagery that empower the females, and I'm all for it.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. But we also have to empower the males coming up too. I mean, there's men and young boys that have gone through experiences just as bad or just the same as the female counterparts. And a lot of them don't have that kind of imagery to look up to or imagery to kind of escape into. So since I kind of come from a certain background, I'm like, okay, I want to give these people an opportunity for that. I want to do much more with my work than just
drawing random pictures, right?
Right.
And overall, when you create a piece like this, what do you hope to do with it afterwards? Because this is amazing work. Like, do you then donate it to an organization, or what's the next step?
Well, a piece like this, one of the things I'm thinking about doing is having a silent auction for it, and then the proceeds I make off of that, I'm donating 100% of it to whatever organization that will help out young black males, whether it's by way of mentorship, whether it's by way of helping them out in academics, or just creating a space for them to feel comfortable. So that's what I hope to do with this. I'm not even gonna say hope. That's what I'm gonna do with this. Okay. I don't believe in speaking.
That is true. I always say you don't hope, you don't try, you do it. That's amazing. You're using your art to empower in the best way that you know how to. And once this goes up, and silent auction, how do you do it on your Instagram, or do you?
Well, I'm gonna team up with the gallery.
Okay.
Team up with an event organizer, and then we're gonna take it from there.
Is there like black galleries around, or?
Oh yeah, there is. There actually, shout out to Trey. Trey Arts. There we go. Okay. Trey Arts. I was trying to remember his actual real name, his real full name. But yeah, Trey Arts has a gallery that it's his own space. He hosts paint nights and a bunch of other events. So there are black galleries out there.
Okay. I might not be familiar with it, but it's good to know from people listening, probably that's trying to find and I would definitely say, but we'll get into it at the end, like to follow, because I know you do post a lot of stuff, and I pay attention to it in a way, and these things are important. And I know also with me, I talk about it on my podcast a lot, and I have a little brother who's 15 now, and I think everything that you do, you have to set an example, because they pay so much attention to you that like it's easy for them to like pick up on everything that you do, right? So then you got to make sure that, not to be all serious all the time, but to also, hey man, I've done this before. Yeah. You could do this a little bit better, right?
That's right.
So besides that, I've seen you post a video of you actually holding TTC hostage or something.
We ran upon the train.
You guys was on a run, and but
stuff.
You had a display of, and was it just you, or was it a collaborative?
It was 4 other artists. So
and what's it called? What's that event called?
That is called Social Anti-Social Experiment. That was volume 3 that we did. Yeah.
So there was so tell me more about that because I'm a little bit curious.
Okay, so it wasn't something that I put together.
Okay.
It was another dude coming up doing this thing, and his name on Instagram is Social Anti.
Okay.
Right, and I seen it and I was like, yo, I love that. Like that, what they were doing just. It resonated with everything that's my personality.
So what were they doing? Like, give us. I want you to give me the feel as if because what I seen and I would describe to you guys is I seen you guys was on the train like on the TTC.
Yeah.
Subway system here in Toronto for those that don't know. And you guys posted a bunch of your artwork on the windows.
Right.
And you were trying to sell it to passengers. Is that what it is?
No, that wasn't the aim.
Okay.
But, so what it is that we put up our artwork on the windows, and then the whole idea behind the experiment was to get people out of their phones and get people out of just being self-absorbed, well not self-absorbed in a bad way, just kind of being closed off, which is what we kind of become since technology advanced.
Right.
To get people talking and interacting, and then that's exactly what happened. We put our work up. And then I kind of seen some people kind of like, what are these black kids doing? Like, these black kids are crazy. Like, hold your purse, they're gonna rob us.
Did you do this like rush hour time or like? No.
Coming off of rush hour time, so it was about 7-ish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but once we put it up, and then I seen some people kind of looking, but kind of
standoffish,
reluctant and standoffish.
Yeah.
So what I did was I went up and just, hey, my name's Daniel. We're giving you guys a free art show here today. And then it just opened up a conversation, and people that you think would never talk to you, otherwise, just started having a whole dialogue. Like I went up to this older couple, and I'm like, yeah, this is what we're doing and whatnot. And then they started talking about Black Panther. The dude started talking about how his grandson is taking him to go see Black Panther. So just looking at dude and his wife, you would never.
White guy?
White guy.
It's gonna change his life. Yo.
Might start with it.
I mean, I don't have a lot of white friends, but if I did, I would have took all of them to go see it. Did you guys sell off any of the pieces at the end? Or I mean, I know that wasn't the message, but like, did somebody go, yo, I love what you're doing. I just want to give y'all money for this. Did you end up selling?
Well, for me, I ended up selling 2 of my prints.
Okay.
Right. So that wasn't my intention. I didn't come there thinking that. Even when the 2 people said they want to buy, I'm like, you sure? Like, you want to buy it? Then they're like, yeah, how much? And then I told them the price, and they copped it. And I was like, great. But I'm not sure if the other artists sold anything.
Okay.
But we did give out a lot of our information to people.
Okay.
Right? So cards, adding us on Instagram and Facebook, whatever the means was.
Yeah, I mean, it was unique because I've never seen it. I know in Toronto it's not as, you don't see it often, but I know in New York, like every time you come on the train in New York, there's something going on. Right. Like the train itself is a different, like every time you come on the train, somebody might come in there and break dance.
Right.
Somebody might come and read your poem. Somebody might give you a show. So I think for those is expected, maybe not as much as Toronto. And then when I seen it too, like it was very unique.
Right.
Because I was like, damn, this is a great idea. Get on the train and at the time I didn't understand thoroughly what you guys were doing, but.
And funny enough, when I first seen it, that's what it reminded me of. It reminded me of New York culture.
I thought you was in New York for a second.
Nah,
I said, Daniel,
then you see those little red marks on the train, you're like, that's TTC.
Yeah, no, as soon as I see red, I was like, yeah TTC all the way.
But yeah, it was definitely different. Like the people were shocked to see that, right?
Yeah.
But I'm glad that I was able to be a part of that experience and bring that to them. And I talked with the organizer about some other ideas. So we got some things lined up, man. I mean, it's his creation.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to add my input to it and keep this thing going.
Okay. And do you guys ride the train like from what? Like, do you ride the train from one station to another, like all the way through?
So we started at Spadina.
Okay.
Then we went down to Kipling. Then we went to Kennedy, and then we went back and forth like that.
So how long were you guys on the train for?
We were on the train for like 2 hours. No, maybe 3 hours.
Damn, y'all didn't get arrested. That's amazing.
Yeah, we got shut down.
You did?
You got shut down.
They told y'all.
Yeah, by that time I was ready to go. I was like, I got a baby at home. I gotta go, man.
Was it only like one time or like a couple of times?
No, one time. Funny enough, a supervisor came on, TTC supervisor, and he was looking around, didn't say nothing, and we thought he was gonna say something, didn't say nothing. And then some time went by, maybe like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then I think it was some sort of superior, TTC superior came on, his hat and everything, and then he was talking, and he was like, it's fine now, but don't do this again, sort of thing. So,
yeah. But then now y'all planning the number 4.
Yeah, number 4 is coming.
So if you work for the TTC, you're watching it, they coming back for another one. And now you're talking about like you selling off your pieces. Yeah. Are you in a space where like now you're able to, like, do you work full time as an artist? Like, is this your like, are you living off your artistry?
Yes and no. So I do reap some financial benefit from it.
Yeah.
But the bigger benefit that I reap from it, and the benefit that I enjoy the most, is actually fulfilling my purpose. Right. Because yes, I work another job, right? And that's what brings in my money and sustains me. But this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like I've tried and got into many different things. But this right here, this is my mission, this is my purpose, this is how I get in touch with people and have the opportunity to change their lives. This is how I get my story out. And this is how I leave behind my legacy and leave behind my mark on the world. So that's the benefit that I get from it. Yeah. It's just being completely engulfed in this art thing and just taking it on full steam and straight ahead.
That's good. I mean, there is nothing more satisfying than chasing a dream, something you really love to do, whether or not you're that is the main source of income. And I was just saying because, I mean, out of curiosity, because I know sometimes we look at things and we look at the popularity of certain things and we're like, yo, he's making too much money, I'm not going to support him anymore. Because I know sometimes we tend to do that because we'll see your social media following, we'll see you sold off one piece, but you don't know if it's $100 or $1,000, right? You know what I mean? So I think what's important is we got to start supporting the right people. And when I say the right people, is somebody like you to come and tell us that, like, you're trying to put a message out there far beyond just pictures. Like, to me, that resonates because that is important for us to support and uplift. Yeah. Because you always want to put somebody at the top that once he get to the top, he'll reach back down and pull somebody else up.
Some people get to the top, they don't want nobody else up there.
And the worst thing is some people don't even get to the top. Yeah. They get a glimpse.
That's right.
I tell people all the time, God not blessing you because he know you about to fuck this shit up.
That's right.
He know as soon as you find a way, you out. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, very important. Now, any other things that you wanted to speak about that we didn't touch on? I've satisfied everything as far as my curiosity. But do you have any upcoming shows happening or anything like that?
I will be doing a gallery later this year. I haven't determined the date exactly yet.
What's doing a gallery? Sorry.
So doing a gallery is basically you're presenting your pieces. It could be themed. So let's take this for an example. Okay. I could have a gallery where it's featuring black icons, or I could have a gallery where it's featuring black and white pieces. Mm-hmm. And then, when people come into my space in that gallery, that's what they'll see my work up there. So a gallery serves as different things. It serves as a means, as exposure. Some people use it to promote themselves. Some people use it to sell their pieces or whatnot. Okay,
so you work with different, is it just you, or do you also have other artists there displaying their work?
It depends what you get into. Okay. You could get into one where it's just you, or you could get into one where you have a collaborative effort of a bunch of artists bringing forth a gallery, right? So
yeah. In your opinion, yes. How is woman in terms of artistry? Like are women? I know, like, we get into this. We might be going off a tangent a little bit, but I was just curious. Like, is it a big gap in terms of like women? And I've asked Melissa this, but I don't think that I got that. But I was trying to say, like, do women get as less respect than male artists in this industry? Like, from your perspective? Like, if a woman said, like, I want to draw you a picture, I'm going to charge you $500, you'd be like, you crazy? But if a man do it, like, is it the same thing? Because I know, like, in every industry, like, we hear these things happen, right? Like, is it the same in art?
I'd say it depends what area you go into. let me speak about the black art community in terms of that question.
Right. Okay.
I think women do get a lot of respect in the black art community. Of course, you do have a few, black males that are really up there and really popular, you could say.
Yeah.
But majority of the artists I see are actually black women in the black art community. So they do get a lot of respect, and a lot of their work is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So they have the right to charge $500 just as much as their male counterparts would charge.
Yeah.
Some of them are better than their male counterparts.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's finding the balance. How do you determine how much a piece costs?
Well, for me, it goes off of size, it goes off of detail, and it goes off of how many subjects you want in the picture.
Okay.
Right. So that will help me determine what I'm going to charge you. It also goes off of what medium I'm going to use, because some supplies, like I'll give you an example, a pencil crayon set that I have, it's 120 pencils, and the thing is $300. So you do the math.
What kind of pencil? Who makes the pencil? Hey, we might have a pencil for $300.
A pencil set, man, 120.
Oh, but did you say 300? How many pieces?
You get 120 pieces.
Okay.
For $300. Yeah.
Yeah, man, we're about to shut down this podcast and get into some pencil. That's so okay. So everything else. So because I was trying to determine, like, do you go in there and like have preset prices, or I guess it just really depends on the artistry and the individual, right? Is that what it goes by?
So it depends on what they want, and it depends on what I gotta use. Like for example, the Black Panther piece.
Now hold on.
Yeah.
Don't put your prices out. Okay. You don't know who's watching this.
No, I'm not good, man. Hey, I'm open. Hey.
No, I'm just joking. So sorry, go ahead.
So I'm not gonna tell you what I would charge for this.
Right.
But I did this with the $300 pencils.
Okay.
So somebody's gonna buy it. It's gonna cost.
This is a little premium one.
That's right. It's not gonna be as less of a price as, say, some other work, right? Just because the materials used for it cost so much to put in, right? And then the time that it took to do it. So all that gets factored in.
I mean, this is amazing work. I get to, I get to see these things now, and I'm more exposed to it. Like, to see somebody actually draw something and to take a look at it, like, by looking at it, I could just tell that you spend so much time on this. So, if you were to charge X amount of money, I think if you truly support somebody, you don't go back and forth with the thing. Like, you're like, okay, you know what? I respect it. I'm either gonna go forth with it, but like, this might be out of range. But you do also, and we talked about it, is that if you can't buy the original piece,
right,
you do make prints, which are much more.
Yeah, they're much more.
Do you make big prints as well, or do you make all sizes?
The biggest print I've made is 16 by 20, but I am gonna get into bigger prints, some canvas.
I like big shit, man.
Yeah,
it's like I mean these are cool, of course, but I like if I was I like this, right? This is the picture. This is, you know what I mean. Until you go to the auction, if you feel free to, if you want to leave it in the activated podcast studio, and we'll just, you know what I mean, we'll just keep it. But this is amazing, and hopefully if it goes up, if it's within budget or something, we might want to at least trying to get this is amazing. This is good. I mean, thanks for coming, and I'm glad that you brought this. I feel like I'm getting the exclusive shit on here. Anything else that we haven't touched on?
Well, do you want to touch on this piece?
Yes, please.
Yeah? Okay. The reason why I say we gotta touch on this is my flagship piece.
I should have picked that up. You put that in the middle too. Okay.
So this is the piece that really brought me into the fold of gaining some traction on social media and whatnot. Even though that wasn't my intent with it, but it was.
So this the shit that blew you up. This is like your sex tape.
Pretty much.
For art.
Yeah.
Okay. People don't get excited, but okay.
But much better than the Black China joint. But that's a whole other story. We'll talk about that another time. Anyways. Yeah. So with this was a redo of a piece that I did in 2014.
Okay.
Right. So same sort of concept, same sort of thing going on. But what it is that it picks up from the mythos, from the African mythos of the goddess giving life to the universe and life to the earth, right? So what we have here, we had the muse in the back, and she represents the cosmic. She represents the goddess. She represents the cosmos and the universe and whatnot. Mm-hmm. She created man, and as a gift to man, she gave him the earth. And then I threw my flag in there, the Jamaican flag, so the black, yellow, and green.
As you should. I'm not mad at you for that.
Before it was red, yellow, and green, but I decided to change it.
Okay.
And but it still has a similar meaning. So you got the black representing the people, you got the yellow representing the sun, which is life to the earth,
right,
and all things on earth, and then you have green representing the land, which is what the humans feed off of, which is also another symbol of life, right?
Yeah.
So it's a whole cycle working in conjunction with each other.
So it's a whole story and what, in your opinion, why did this blow you up on social media?
I think people just really resonate with the message.
Okay.
And then even the music that I used, it was I think she's a songwriter. It was a songwriter on Instagram that I just liked one of her pictures. I'm like, I'm gonna use that picture. And then I used her as.
So the music, you mean like the lady standing there?
That's right.
So that's an
actual person.
That's an actual person.
Yeah.
What's her Instagram?
Her name is Ayana Will, I believe.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
She must have looked at it and go, damn.
Yeah.
This is a good, and if you, like I said, if you look at this to SoundCloud, go on that IG page, Activated Podcast. Daniel, I don't know why I keep saying Aaron. Daniel will leave his social media contact, so you could go and actually have a look at it. This is good, man. This is good. I mean, I wish you much success, bro. And for anything else, if you need anything from me, I'm here. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Before you go, please plug us your Instagram so we know, people know where to follow you.
All right. First and foremost, you gotta follow this man. All right? You gotta support him. I'm telling you right now. I'm declaring this. This will be one of the biggest podcasts you ever come across. It's gonna be the biggest thing in Toronto. Period.
Thank you.
Now, to find me, Art of Death 1111 on Instagram. I'm on all social media, but you really want to get in touch with me and check my work out and check out what I do. Instagram is the way to go. Art of Death 1111. Or you could find me at my website if you want to purchase prints and whatnot. DefArt1111.com. So DEFART1111.com. Instagram ARTDEF1111.
Perfect. And now once the post goes up, I'll make sure to include that. So I know a lot of y'all will not remember it right away, but we'll put that in there and tag you in there. And I want to say thank you, man. And you heard the man, support it, and right. We get it big enough, and we're here to, the likes of us and everybody else on the come up. So to shut things off, my favorite catchphrase, and I've heard some of y'all steal my line, but it's cool. I like to throw a shot before I end it. But thanks again for tuning in. As always, this is the Activated Podcast, and you have officially been activated. Peace.